right, but right now, we have Scott who has the info on the Joy of Music School. I think I said it right.
Yes, you did.
All right, so what did you find out?
Well, on our tour yesterday of the facility, we found out quite a bit about the ins and outs of the place. They do, basically they're there to support kids that maybe can't afford to have an instrument or play an instrument, and they really would like to get into like playing guitar, drums, virtually any kind of instrument you can possibly imagine they have at that facility, and they can pair it up with the young kids that want to play. And I think that's a very good thing. Most of their needs for the place are, if anybody's interested, to do teaching, mentoring of different instruments. If you're an expert or even a novice at it, they would really appreciate some kind of attention with that. And find out their need. The other need for them would be like a financial backing. If you have a donation that you'd like to make to them, they would really appreciate that.
What about like instruments? Can you donate instruments to them, or is it monetary?
Yes, they have rooms full of instruments that have been donated to them. I don't know if they're specifically looking for any specific instrument that they haven't got, but when we toured the facility, they had probably 5 rooms full of different instruments: guitars, drum kits, violins. I saw a harpsichord in there. I didn't know that there was a way you could make a harpsichord look like a piano, but there was one in there like that. It was pretty cool.
Awesome.
You actually punch the keys like you'd sit at a piano, and you move this slider to make a different noise.
Do they have like a web address or a phone number that you can contact to see what kind of donations that they could be accepting?
Well, they have their Facebook page, which you can find by just searching for the Joy of Music School, and they also have a web address. I don't have that on me. That was one thing that my partner and I were going to have, but I don't have that on me right now. You can Google it and find it by searching for Joy of Music School in Knoxville.
Okay, and you can also look them up on Facebook, correct?
Yes, they have a Facebook page.
I already have it, the joyofmusicschool.org.
There you go. I couldn't remember off the top of my head, but I had it.
Oh yeah, when you go and do an interview, man, there's 1,000 things that you prepare for, and only get like 10% of it correct when you're on air. So
yeah, I had it all in my head.
yeah, exactly. And I mean, it sounds like a really beneficial thing for needy kids, especially ones that want to build a career in music and, just don't have the time or the money, the financial aspect of it. So I think this is a really, really cool thing that they're doing for the community.
Yeah, and they start kids out at, I think the guy said that they have the youngest student there is around 5.
Wow.
So they go from 5 up to teenage years. And during the tour, he was showing us some photos and things from their past students. And I remember one of them, he said, has gone on to be a student at Juilliard.
Oh, no, that's awesome.
Wow.
As a pianist, I believe.
Nice.
It's pretty cool, yeah.
So
no, go ahead, sorry. Do
they have certain criteria that somebody has to meet in order for them to be willing to help somebody?
Basically, they they help people who are financially unable to purchase instruments and are not able to go to a regular kind of structured
like an academy
lesson, yeah. Yes, sort of like that. Yes. They have people ranging, or kids ranging from like single parent families, kind of like I don't really want to say it this way, but I guess broken homes, sort of.
Okay.
Correct. Yes.
It's I have no other way of explaining it other than that. And there's certain families that they have that are all together and supportive of each other. They just are of a low income, so they have no way of paying for the lessons that they're required to have for an instrument, and the time that's required to put into that. So that's what the Joy of Music School provides for them. They provide them the place to go to play their instrument. They provide them with the one-on-one instruction that is required for learning an instrument. And they provide the support and the mentorship with their volunteers that they get for being teachers to these kids.
What about like genres? Do they have different genres that they teach, or is it just basic music? Do they have categories as to what a particular child's interest is, or is it just all just one? Like just learning music in general.
Well, I guess that kind of depends on the instrument that they want to play. They, like I said, they have violins and classical instruments, so they would be teaching classical music doing that. And they also have their guitars, both electric and acoustic. So they teach different ways of playing things and teach an appreciation for different kinds of music to each student. And they give them an appreciation of the way music can make you feel, and you can express yourself through music.
Right. So it's a collection of music as a whole.
Yes.
Did you find out how long the lessons are? Like how many weeks do they do per kid? Because they've got to limit it at some point.
Well, what we found out is they run their lessons throughout the school year. So all summer they don't have really any any students in the school, unless they have specific people who would like to send their kids to their summer programs. But there's not too many of their volunteer teachers available for the summer. So I mean, they can go as many times as they want for the entire school year. It also kind of provides the kids with a place to go after school.
Yeah, like an after school program.
Yeah. It gives them something to do.
That is phenomenal, man. That's absolutely phenomenal. From what I understand, it's the only school of its kind, correct?
Within the city of Knoxville, as far as I'm aware, yes, it is the only one that has been founded in Knoxville. But the original start of the Joy of Music School was made in Nashville. I believe the individual, I believe his name was James Dick. Believe it or not, that is his last name. He started a music school over in Nashville, and he, through the success of that, decided to bring something over into Knoxville area. And that's how it started. It started with a small group, and I was told they started from like boys and girls clubs. They would go in, teach kids how to play instruments, and it kind of built up from there. And they moved into their own building, and from there they expanded, and now their building is a freestanding building just off of I-40, and they've gotten to where they actually own the building that they're in, and they have tenants for the excess space that's in the building. So they're pretty established in the city of Knoxville now.
And they're considered a nonprofit organization, is that correct, or am I mistaken?
They are, I believe, considered a nonprofit organization, yes.
Yeah, they have a lot of volunteers, so that alone would give them that qualification.
Yeah, almost everybody that works there or is associated with them is a volunteer basis.
it's wonderful to have so many people donate their time for a cause like this. I mean, anytime I hear a story like this, it's mind opening. You know, I mean, it really shows that there are still good people.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, in the Knoxville area.
Definitely.
That's absolutely amazing.
Yes. And Chris and I, we were really wanting to find a way to help out and bring the school into more of a light with more people, as many people as we can. That's why we're trying to put this concert idea together.
Well, I know for a fact I'll be doing my part in sharing the knowledge that I've gained tonight.
Awesome. Thanks very much.
Exactly. This same here. You know, I love when things are about, you know, kids, and especially about music, because in a lot of schools nowadays they've taken the music factor out. My sons actually went to one of them schools that they had no music. They had no art either. So.
Yeah, there's a lot of schools like that now. You know, that the arts in general are being taken out. You know, so to see a nonprofit organization here in Knoxville, you know, giving back to the community, you know, through the children, you know, it's a great thing. It's a you know, a completely great thing.
Yeah, and many of the children that go through there are going to end up, you know, in local bands and, you know, school bands, and you know, do great things. Maybe one might win a Grammy one day. You never know.
Yeah, and plus, you know, it keeps them off the streets. It keeps them safe. It gives them, you know, something to look forward to every day. You know, and hopefully, you know, it will teach them how to expand, and you know, with them going through a program like this, hopefully it will teach them to share with others the experience that they have learned.
Yeah, and it's a great benefit for the kids that aren't too into sports, you know, to have something to do.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So I mean, that's what it's about. It's about, you know, helping the kids and, you know, giving them a chance, because there are a lot of less fortunate, you know, homes out there that, you know, have very talented children, and in most places in the United States and other places, you know, they'll never have that opportunity. But the people in Knoxville are very, you know, humble and grateful in, you know, that they have that opportunity. And I'm sure many of these kids are taking, you know, making the most out of it. I'm not going to say taking advantage of, you know, the situation. I'm going to say making the most out of it, because they're willing to learn and they're willing to, you know, really grab something and get into something. And ultimately that may help out their grades as well.
Yes, that's very true. And I'm definitely glad to see that something like the Joy of Music School is out there. The way they have everything set up in that building is great to me. I mean, it teaches the kids that may not be the best students that they can excel, and they builds more confidence for them in all aspects of life. I mean, just being an excellent musician can give you the confidence to think, hey, I can do this really well. I can do everything really well, and just build upon that.
All right, if anyone would like to call in, the number is 1-855-403-9071. They may not, you know, have you know, questions for Scott about the Joy of Music School. I did want to, you know, touch base, if you have time, Scott, about the other great things that you're doing as well.
Yeah, I have time.
Because from my understanding, you do a lot of charity events, correct?
Yes, I just finished a charity event. It would be about a week ago. It was on May 16th. We did a charity fundraiser for an organization called Hydro Angels Over America. It's to benefit people with the condition called hydrocephalus, which I'm one of them. I've lived with it for 35 years. So,
And exactly what is hydrocephalus?
It's excessive fluid around the brain. Everybody has fluid around your brain that kind of cushions it, but when you have hydrocephalus, it doesn't drain properly. So there's either too much or not enough fluid in there.
And if it's not too painful to talk about, what are treatments people could go through to help cure it or settle it down?
Well, there's no cure for hydrocephalus. The only thing that would be classified as a treatment is brain surgery to introduce a shunt or a tube into the ventricle of the brain.
That's for the drainage, correct?
Yes, that's for the drainage, yes. That's the only treatment besides another process called endoscopic third ventriculostomy. It's difficult to say, but
wow.
It's where they go in and make an incision in the ventricles and basically pass the fluid from one ventricle to another to drain out properly.
Okay, and when you say ventricle, what are you clearly meaning? I'm sorry, I'm not big.
Think of it this way: you have 4 chambers of your heart that have ventricles that pass blood through. So you have ventricles in your brain that pass the cerebrospinal fluid throughout the brain to cushion it, so it's not sloshing around in your head when you're walking.
And now, correct me if I'm wrong, but there's 2 ventricles to the brain. Is that correct, or is there
there's actually 4?
4. So it's just like the chambers of the heart, basically.
Pretty much, yes. With the chambers of the heart, they kind of pass blood amongst each other. The ventricles in the brain are just kind of like almost free flowing. And when one gets blocked, it doesn't mean every one of them's blocked, but that one being blocked just causes a lot of problems.
Wow. But it's awesome, the fact that you're on here and you could talk about it, and you're actually still living life and still helping people and still caring and doing the best you can, even though you have to deal with this situation on a daily basis.
Of course, as long as I'm able to walk and talk and stand and do whatever I have to do, I'm going to be helping people. I've spent a lot of my lifetime not knowing what I could do to help out, and then once I found the organization that I work with, Hydro Angels Over America, they have given me kind of a leeway to basically forge my own way of doing things. Like the rock concert isn't something that anybody's ever done before, but we pulled that off with awesome bands, and it was a great night. And I'm also doing a hike here in the next few months. It'll be in September, the first Saturday in September, September 5th. So that's another one.
Where's the location of that going to be?
It'll be in the Smoky Mountains. I haven't quite decided where we're going to start at yet, but it'll be up in there near Townsend.
Right. Abrams Fall. If you've ever been to Abrams Falls, that is a great hike. I recommend it myself personally. If you're looking into that area of the Smoky Mountains, it is a great hike. I believe it's a little over a mile, but the end result, once you get to the falls, is beautiful. Just throwing that out there. That's in Cades Cove.
Cool. Sounds good to me. Well, last year we went on Schoolhouse Gap.
That is a good.
Yeah.
But I mean,
we started at a little place in Townsend called the Smoky Pearl. There's a hiker's hostel up there that we started out. Everybody met there, and then we pushed on up to the trailhead.
That is all. And you said your organization was called what?
It's Hydro, Hydro,
Mm-hmm.
Angels, Angels, Over America.
And do you have a website or Facebook that people can check it out?
Yeah, it's hydroangelsoveramerica.org. That one actually stuck in my head. The other one didn't.
Oh, that's awesome, man. I mean, that's great that you're giving back to the community. You know, I mean, anytime that you donate your time and effort for something with such a great cause, is phenomenal in any aspect. I mean, there should be a lot more people that do it.
Yeah, I enjoy doing charity work, and I enjoy now working with the musicians and individuals that I've met through the East Tennessee music scene, which is the organization that Chris started. And I'm working really closely with him. We're doing the Joy of Music school benefit. Like I said, we're in the process of figuring out what we're going to do, how we're going to do it. We pretty much know where we're going to do it, but not exactly the dates yet. That stuff will be to come, and if anybody's interested in getting involved with our East Tennessee music scene page, it's on Facebook. We don't have a website yet. We have an email address for East Tennessee music scene. It's EN music scene @gmail.com. I thought I could throw that one out there.
No, that's great, man. I will definitely keep updated with this, and I will confer it during the shows. I would love to help in any way I can.
Oh, that sounds awesome.
Yeah, if I can help, maybe I could. If you can get me some kind of picture of it or whatever, with the web address. Well, with the email address, I apologize, and the Facebook page address, I'll put it up on both websites for you.
Okay, I can do that. I do a lot of the posting on the East Tennessee music scene page, so we'll be updating and re-updating and doing all sorts of stuff to let everybody know how everything's going with the Joy of Music scene, or Joy of Music benefit, and keep everybody with that in mind. I mean, it'll end up being probably early to mid-fall before we can bring it all together. But
you know what? I give you a lot of credit, not to cut you off. I just want to say I'm very honored and very humble, and I think I can speak for all of us when I say that the fact that you're willing to do things regardless of what you're going through, the fact that you're willing to do things and you're willing to, care for others and, really reach out to the community speaks volumes.
Yes,
well, thank you very much.
I want to give you my thanks as well. If for people like you, it really gives me faith in the Knoxville area.
Well, I appreciate you guys having me on and talking to me about this and everything that you guys do on a daily basis to promote local bands and music in general, because music has helped a lot of people, including myself. I mean, everybody goes through their hard times, and you find that perfect song that just fits your mood, and you just blare it as loud as you want or play it as soft as you want, depending on the song.
Exactly.
Or if you're one of those talented people who know how to play an instrument, then you just get on it and jam and do what you do. I'm not one of those lucky ones. I have the ear to listen, and I know what I like, and I listen to music that I love, and I will support the bands and the musicians involved in any music that comes my way, because it's better to be supportive than it is to be negative to people, because I think support gives people more hope that they can do better with things.
Oh yeah, always. Me being a musician myself, like you've opened my eyes to a couple things, and like I said, I really thank you for that. And just to see that there is hope in our community, that there are people that are willing to help the less fortunate, really humbles me as far as my musician standpoint, because I was from a low-income home, and I had to struggle to get my first guitar and to learn the music. So, to see that there's really people out there to help people that were once in my shoes, is just a great thing, So I really do thank you, and I appreciate the time that you've given us talking.
Well, thank you guys for having me.
Not a problem whatsoever. I did want to say this, that during the life that some people have, and seeing all the bad things that do happen upon in life, people are quick to react, and whenever they see something happening, they're quick to say, well, this is happening due to a negative reason. For example, I was helping a friend of mine go to one of them food banks today, and I seen this dude. He was carrying out like 15 cakes, and I'm thinking to myself, well, that's awfully selfish of him. And then later I realized he was actually bringing it to people's cars, and I'm like, I'm such a dummy.
Oh.
Yeah, see, that's quick to be judgmental, and I do it on a daily basis myself, but like the scenario you just gave, that's what most people have. That's their first thought. What a selfish person. And then if you see them, it really humbles you. Not only does it make you feel bad, you realize that there are people out there that still help. So for it to humble you at the time makes you a better person in the end game.
Yeah.
I agree. I totally agree.
It happens if you take things at first glance and not just sit back and watch how things unfold. It kind of makes you think that way. But if you just sit back and watch how people work and how things unfold in a situation, most of the time you'll see that they're doing something good rather than being selfish and taking advantage of others in a sense.
Yeah, I'm still one of those people that believe that everybody has good in their heart. I really am. And, that's a rare find these days, to see that there's others like me. At first glance, like I stated earlier, at first glance, it might look like somebody is being selfish or, that nature. But in the long run, maybe they're doing it, not only for themselves, but to help others, and I truly believe that in my heart. I believe there's good in everyone. You just have to find that outlet, to give back.
Yeah, that's true.
And even those that are, evil today may not be evil tomorrow. I'm one that believes in that people can change, and people could, change their ways and everything if they're given the opportunity to. Not everybody, but some people do.
Yes, that's very true. If you give somebody the chance to do something that they are willing and able to do, most of the time you'll come out with a good response and a good result.
And that's what it's about. The end result, regardless of what somebody did in their life, that's in the past. Everybody can have a fresh start today.
That's true. Yes, very much so. Everybody deserves a chance to succeed and to make their life better.
All right. Well, I think I'm done for questions. What about you, DJ Sickness? You got any more?
No, I think he's covered every basis there is. I mean, great cause, great community, and he's doing it for a great reason. So all my bases are covered.
That's what it's about.
Well, thank you guys very much for all that you guys do in supporting everything, music and causes, and me for that matter. I mean, I'm just one person in a sea of lots of giving and charitable people. So I appreciate you guys having me on and helping me further the cause and get the information out there that we need to get out there, so people will understand that there are people that need help, that need certain things, and there are people like me and others that are out here to basically facilitate events and coordinate things and hopefully make things happen for these great causes.
Definitely, and definitely keep us posted on like you said, the hike coming up, or any events that you've got going on. Feel free to let us know, and we will pass along the information.
All right, cool. Sounds good to me.
Yeah, and we definitely wanted to have you back on some time, and maybe get Chris to come on as well.
All right, sounds good.
All right, well, you have yourself a wonderful day, Scott, or a wonderful evening.
I will. You guys as well. Have a good
take
show.
care, brother.
All right, rock
Take care.
on.